Hey everybody, welcome back to Omega Zone Gaming. Today for you, we definitely have the review for Valkyria Revolution. Now, I plan on also getting episode Prompto up today, if everything goes right. Right now, the DLC is non-downloadable to season pass holders. It tries to charge you again. Sony apparently is working on it, but who knows. So, let's go ahead and talk about Valkyria Revolution. Let's start with story. So, the story in this game is basically lost to the history books. As far as the game knows it, you are the leader of the 5 traitors who started a war for selfish means. What the real story is going to tell you, though, is why they really started, what the outcomes were, and who they hurt and who they helped to get there. It's the oldest true story of if you don't remember history, you're doomed to repeat it. Now, the way they tell this is essentially like one giant flashback, if you would. Well, not really flashback, but story, if you would. Your 2 characters talking are actually in a separate area talking. And they discuss this more like a reciting a true history. So, as far as the story goes, I love the story. There's a bunch of dramatic moments, even though some of the stances on characters don't portray that well enough. And I can understand maybe why that is. It's not a huge game for an RPG. And most RPGs, like Kingdom Hearts, took up 30 gigs in my system. And that was for the 2.5. So, something with 0.2 took 30 gigs. So, Final Fantasy 15, which a lot of people scratched for its story, took up almost 50 gigs before even the first DLC came out. This game takes up 17 gigs only. So, for what it has to work with, it is a great story. It has issues in the posturing department, if you get what I'm saying. Like, some characters will just stand there still talking while maybe they should be crossing their arms or hand on the hip. They don't do that. So it does have its flaws, but it's a great overall story. I give the story a 5 out of 5, and I will say I especially love that there are Hamlet references. Your main character's name is Amleth. Anybody see the connection there? And, Ophelia. There's a bunch of Shakespearean references, which really work with this story. So, yeah, 5 out of 5 for the story. So, gameplay. Gameplay is the most polarizing part for me. It is hack and slash in its truest form. If you were coming in looking for this to be, Valkyria Chronicles 4, you're not going to get that. There is minimalistic strategy to this game. You can pretty much, I don't know if you unlock any extra difficulties after completing the game yet, because I have not completed the game. I'm doing a lot of free missions because you want to do those to level yourself. But, as far as on easy and normal, this game, you can pretty much just do this. Watch. Run up, hack away. Now, you can throw tactics in if you want. Like, for instance, I have a grenade. I can pause time, throw that grenade. Then I have to wait for my bar to regenerate. So it's not like it's devoid of tactics. And you do still get spoils, just like in Valkyria Chronicles. There is still tactics to be had. It's just not on the deep level that Valkyria Chronicles was. This is more of a hack and slash action JRPG. Most enemies you're going to be able to file in one swoop. But you can choose other attacks to take them out with. As I just did there. With that grenade. You also have a gun. Just like in any actual Valkyria game. And I felled the enemy commander, just like that. What really does pull towards it being this good action RPG is they did trickle in the strategy. Yes, it's not on the level of a Valkyria Chronicles. If you're wanting Valkyria Chronicles, go home and, you know, go out and spend $20 on the PS4 edition of Valkyria Chronicles. I do recommend it. This is not Valkyria Chronicles. This is Valkyria Revolution. It is a JRPG with hack and slash as its main combat taste. Overall, though, for what I'm learning about the combat and the strategy, you do need to sprinkle in. Yes, you can run up and hit enemies all day, but you will not get S rankings for doing so. You will not unlock better equipment for doing so. And Regicide you will not unlock for doing so. You have to use an increment of strategy. Maybe not full strategy like Chronicles, but an increment of strategy. And for that alone, I have to give this battle system a 3 out of 5. It's not a deep system, but it's deep enough where you get what you put into it. If you want to use grenades and guns, you'll get more depth out of it. If you don't, you can run and hack and slash. I'm not going to give it a good, more than average score, because you can technically run and hack and slash every enemy in the game. So, a 3 out of 5. Graphics. On to graphics. It's polarizing. Character models can be almost non-detailed when you're on maps like this. You know, your main character seems to get the most detail when you're on maps like this. When you're in combat, though, let's go ahead and turn in a mission. We'll go to a mission and I'll show you. So we'll go back to the base mission and eliminate the Imperial Army.
That is all.
We'll deploy. So when you're on a battle screen, everything is pretty good detail. My sharpness is turned down because I heard you get more background quality, but you know, you can see the blue coming out of their weapons for Regicide. You can see his jacket flowing, her hair flowing. You can see all that stuff. Really impressive.
No match for us.
You know, you can see every hit. Let's use a magical ability here in a second.
Rest in peace.
Commander down.
So let's go ahead and use Smash Earth.
Out of my way.
See, you can actually see the particle effects coming up. Let's go ahead and use another Smash Earth because I need to realistically to get that next mission complete.
That all you got?
And when it comes up on their faces really close like that, the detail is definitely there. Did he clip through a wall? That's pretty funny. So, you know, you can see some good detail in this game. This game is not void of detail whatsoever. It actually impresses me how much detail there realistically is.
Watch this. Commander down, son. You ready? Watch this.
You know, it's just that polarizing effect of when you go into regular maps. Those, when you're in towns and stuff, those are not deep. So graphics is mixed in certain aspects. And some of the things I can overlook. As for what here I will give,
Rest in peace.
Allow me to assist you. Who's next? That all you got?
I think I'll give graphics a 4 out of 5. They're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. They definitely do have their problems. But I'm really loving the art style. I really love the backgrounds and character animations when you're in combat. And I can forgive a slight oversight or two. Especially considering, from my understanding, they needed to get this game out. Like, Sega's really pushing the team that was doing this game to get it done. So with that being said, you know, I can forgive some of the aspects that were maybe lost in production. So yeah, graphics I think I will give a 4 out of 5.
Mission complete. As expected.
Ooh, I got a lot of spoils that time. Now on to audio. Audio is just superb. I haven't played it with Japanese voiceovers. I don't know if you can. If you can't, I may need to download the Japanese version. But as far as what I have played, the audio is superb. The music is just right when there is music. What they do is they treat this as a play. When something is really deep, they cut out the music and let the people talk. They realize that the conversation at hand might be much more important than you hearing a little bit of music. So it is fantastic in that aspect. The music itself is good. It's militaristic. It pumps you up to go into these fights. Even though you know you might be going in and just hacking and slashing the entire time, the music really is militaristic and pumps you up. Voice acting is phenomenal for the US. Emleth is probably my favorite JRPG character now. I love his personality. I love how angry he can get at some points. Nephilia is bae. She is definitely bae. She is confident, yet, you know, has a sense of insecurity. She gives off this sense of self-worth, but sense of also wanting to protect her people. She's one of the more complex female RPG characters I think I've seen. I was really impressed with the voice acting in this. Audio definitely gets a 5 out of 5. So, we've heard the good, we've heard the bad. For the most part, the only really torturous part of this game is the load screens. Load screens, patch them. Just patch them, Sega. Patch them to go faster, because that was torturous. So, I gave the story a 5 out of 5. I thought it was a great story. I gave the gameplay a 3 out of 5. It's basic, but it works. I gave graphics a 4 out of 5. They look really good in aspects, and there are problems, but they're nothing that takes away from the overall enjoyment of the game. And audio was just amazing. I gave it a 5 out of 5. Some of the best audio I ever heard. Valkyria Revolution for me gets a 3.5 out of 5. Here's the thing though. At $40, I'm going to say it's worth it. If you're looking for a new RPG at $40, it's worth it. Sega made the right move by not charging full price, or even remastered price, as I like to call it now, like how Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age is coming out at $50. They didn't even charge remaster price. They knew what they had, and they charged fairly. It's an average game with some faults, but it's still a good average game. And I've played some bad average games this year, but this is one of the better spectrums. That's why I got a 0.5. You know, a 3.5. It got that 0.5 because it's a little bit above average. It's not average, it's a little bit above average. I would say at $40, it is worth a purchase. Even if you only run through it once, you'll still have fun with it. If you, however, are expecting this to be Valkyria Chronicles 4, do not go into this expecting that. You will not like it if you do. I went in expecting a JRPG, not a strategy RPG. You know, I didn't expect a sequel to Valkyria Chronicles. I expected its own thing set within the universe of Valkyria Chronicles. And that was enough for me to enjoy this game. So overall, it's a 3.5 out of 5 with a recommended seal of rent it to buy it for hardcore JRPG fans. Rent it for Valkyria Chronicles fans. Give it a try. I don't think you'll be disappointed. You might have the same complaint that has been going on online. Oh, it's not Valkyria Chronicles. But it's not meant to be. It's meant to be its own thing set within the universe. So, that was it for this review. And hopefully, we'll be getting episode Prompto up tonight if Sony fixes everything on their end with the downloadable content issues. So, until next time though, thanks you for watching. Like if you like, subscribe if you want. And this is Omega Zone Gaming, and I am out.